Hey YouTubers, welcome to the Cyber Overwatch channel. I'm Pragmatic1, and in part 5 of the Nmap Scan All the Things 6-part series, I will try to provide an overview of Nmap and its capabilities. In this video, I will cover Nmap scripting engine, including script usage and CLI arguments. In addition, I will also go over the NSE script types and phases. Finally, I will review Nmap's firewall and IDS evasion techniques, as well as the Nmap output options. If you find this content informative and you are interested in cybersecurity, please like and subscribe to the Cyber Overwatch channel. You can also read through the blog post located in the description, and for more content, please regularly check back on www.cybersec.com. The Nmap scripting engine is a versatile and powerful feature that allows users to write and share scripts for automating a wide range of network tasks. With NSE, users can rely on the growing and diverse set of scripts that come with Nmap or write their own to meet their specific needs. NSE is designed to be flexible and can perform tasks such as network discovery, more sophisticated version detection, vulnerability detection, backdoor detection, and vulnerability exploitation. Network discovery is one of the primary functions of Nmap. NSE can perform tasks such as looking up who has data based on the target domain, querying ARIN, RIPE, and ABNIC for target IP to determine ownership. It can also perform identity lookups on open ports, SNMP queries, and listening to available NFS, SMB, RPC shares and services. In addition to network discovery, NSE can perform more sophisticated version detection than Nmap's regular expression signature-based matching system. It can recognize services that Nmap's version detection cannot, such as the Skype version 2 service, and can recognize more SNMP services by brute forcing community names. NSE is also powerful enough to handle demanding vulnerability checks, making it useful for quickly identifying vulnerable systems on networks. NSE has been used to detect vulnerabilities such as the Heartbleed bug and backdoors such as the NSA's double pulsar SMB backdoor, as well as backdoor versions of Unreal RCD, VS FTPD, and Pro FTPD. As a general scripting language, NSE can even be used to exploit vulnerabilities rather than just finding them. It is important to note that Nmap is not intended to be a comprehensive exploitation framework like Metasploit. To enable the most common scripts, simply specify -s_c. If you prefer to choose your own scripts, use the --script option and provide categories, script file names, or the name of the directory containing the scripts. Customization is also possible by providing arguments to the script via the --script-args and --script-args-file options. To better understand each selected script, use the --script-help option, while the --script-trace and --script-updatedb options are mainly used for script debugging and development. Script scanning is included as part of the -a aggressive scan option. When running the script scan, it's recommended to combine it with the port scan, since scripts may or may not run depending on the port states found by the scan. However, it's also possible to run the script scan without a port scan by using the -s_n option for host discovery. In this case, only the host scripts will be eligible to run. If you want to run a script scan with neither host discovery nor port scan, use the -P, n, -s, n options together with the -s, or --script. Every host will be assumed up and only host scripts will be run. This technique is useful for scripts like whois-ip that only use the remote system's address and don't require it to be up. Let's cover some of the NSE CLI arguments. --s_c is used to run the most common and useful NSE scripts against target hosts, which can provide valuable information about open ports, running services, and potential vulnerabilities. These scripts are typically categorized as safe scripts that are not likely to cause disruption to the scan systems. --script is used to specify Nmap scripts to be executed during the scan. You can specify one or more scripts to be executed during the scan. The option can be used with the script name, category name, or file name, and can be repeated multiple times for running several scripts. --script-args or arguments. This option is used to provide arguments to NSE scripts in Nmap. Many NSE scripts have customizable parameters that allow you to specify certain values such as timeout or specific targets. These parameters can be passed using this argument. --script-arg-file name. It's used to specify the file containing the set of arguments to be passed to the NSE script. Instead of specifying arguments on the command line, you can create a file that contains the arguments and pass the file name to Nmap. --script-help using file name, directory, category, or all. It's used with Nmap scripting engine to display information about a specific script or a list of available scripts. When used with the name of a script, it displays a brief description of the script and arguments it supports. This option is helpful when you need information about the script's functionality, usage, and support arguments. --script-trace. It's a command line argument in Nmap that instructs Nmap to display detailed information about the execution of the NSE script being run. This option can be helpful for troubleshooting NSE script issues or understanding the behavior of the script being run. --script-update-db. It's used to update the script database used by Nmap's scripting engine. This database includes information about all the scripts available in Nmap, as well as the details about the arguments, categories, and dependencies. Let's talk about NSE script types and phases. NSE scripts are classified into 4 types based on their target and scanning phase in which they operate. Some scripts can even support multiple types of operations. The first scripts, pre-rule scripts, it runs before Nmap starts any scan phases. Since Nmap has not yet gathered any information about the target, pre-rule scripts are useful for tasks that do not depend on specific scan targets. They can perform network broadcast requests to query DHCP and DNS SD servers. Some pre-rule scripts can even generate new targets for Nmap to scan if you specify the new target's parameter NSE argument. For example, the DNS-zone-transfer script can obtain a list of IPs in a domain using the zone transfer request and add them to the Nmap scan targets list. Pre-rule scripts contain a pre-rule function to be identified. Host scripts. Operating during Nmap's normal scanning process, after Nmap has performed host discovery, port scanning, version detection, and OS detection against the target host, host scripts are invoked once against each target host that matches its host rule function. Examples of host scripts include whois-IP, which looks up ownership information for a target IP, npath-mtu, which tries to determine the maximum IP packet size that can reach the target without fragmentation. Service scripts. It runs against specific service listening on a target host. For instance, Nmap includes more than 15 HTTP service scripts to run against web servers. If a host has web servers running on multiple ports, these scripts may run multiple times, once for each port. Service scripts are identified by containing a port rule function that decides which detected services a script should run against. Post-rule scripts. It runs after Nmap has scanned all its targets. It can be useful for formatting and presenting Nmap output. For instance, SSH-HostKey is best known for its service port rule script that connects to SSH servers, discovers their public keys, and prints them. But it also includes a post rule that checks for duplicate keys among all the hosts scanned and then prints any found. Another potential use for a post rule script is printing a reverse index of the Nmap output, showing which hosts run a particular service rather than just listing the services on each host. Post rule scripts contain a post-rule function to be identified. Let's move on to NSE categories. The NSE script category system is an essential feature that allows users to choose which scripts to run based on their specific needs. Here's a more detailed description of each script category. Auth. Scripts in this category perform authentication checks against remote services to determine if access is permitted. This can include checking for default or weak passwords or identifying systems that do not require authentication. Broadcast. Scripts in this category send or listen for broadcast traffic on the network to gather information about other hosts or services. Brute. Scripts in this category perform brute force attacks against remote services to guess usernames and passwords or sensitive information. Default. Scripts in this category are automatically run by default when the -s_c option is specified. They are generally considered safe and provide useful information for most users. Discovery. Scripts in this category are used for network discovery and mapping, including host and service identification, port scanning, and operating system detection. DOS. Scripts in this category perform denial of service attacks against remote services, usually with the intent of disrupting or disabling them. Exploit. Scripts in this category attempt to exploit vulnerabilities in remote services to gain unauthorized access or perform other malicious actions. External. Scripts in this category interact with external services or resources, such as online databases or web services. Fuzzer. Scripts in this category sends invalid or unexpected input to remote services to identify vulnerabilities or unexpected behavior. Intrusive. Scripts in this category may cause disruption or damage to remote services or systems and should be used with caution. They may include exploits, denial of service attacks, or other intrusive techniques. Malware. Scripts in this category detect or analyze malware on remote systems. Safe. Scripts in this category are considered safe and non-intrusive and are suitable for most cases. They may include information gathering and vulnerability detection scripts. Version. Scripts in this category perform service and application version detection to identify installed software and their versions. Vuln. Scripts in this category check for known vulnerabilities in remote services or software and may attempt to exploit them to gain access or perform other actions. Let's discuss firewall and IDS evasion. Nmap firewall and IDS evasion are techniques used to bypass network security measures such as firewalls and intrusion detection systems. Nmap offers many features that can be used to bypass poorly implemented network defenses. For example, Nmap can use a technique called fragmentation to evade IDS systems that rely only on packet inspection to detect and block traffic. By fragmenting packets, Nmap can hide the true nature of the traffic and bypass IDS detection. In addition to fragmentation, Nmap offers several other techniques for bypassing firewalls and IDS systems, including IP spoofing, TCP evasion, and using non-standard ports. Network administrators can use Nmap to test their network security posture by attempting to bypass their own defenses. This can help identify weaknesses in security infrastructure that need to be addressed. As far as firewall evasion methods, we'll discuss some popular ones, such as fragmentation. Some packet filters struggle with IP packet fragments, which can result in interesting outcomes if the first fragment is not long enough to contain the entire TCP header, or if the second packet partially overwrites it. While the number of filters with this vulnerability is decreasing, Nmap offers the -F option to send tiny IP fragments with up to 8 bytes of data in each. The -MTU option allows you to specify the maximum data bytes as an argument. However, fragmentation is only supported for Nmap raw packet features and not for higher level features like version detection and Nmap scripting engine. It's worth noting that the out of order and partially overlapping IP fragments can be useful for network research and exploitation, but require even lower level networking tools other than Nmap, such as SCAPI. Another one is MAC address spoofing. Network devices are identified by a unique MAC address consisting of 6 bytes. The first 3 bytes represents an organizational unique identifier assigned to the vendor by the IEEE, and the remaining 3 bytes are assigned uniquely by the vendor. Nmap provides a database that maps OUIs to vendor names. While MAC addresses can be changed with a driver, few people change them, making them vulnerable to unauthorized network access. As many networks use MAC addresses for identification and authorization, sniffing MAC addresses is easy, and spoofing them to gain unauthorized access is also simple. MAC addresses are also used for accountability purposes, but MAC address spoofing determines this approach. Nmap supports MAC address spoofing with the --spoof-MAC option, which can take several forms, including completely random MAC address, a string of even hex digits, a vendor name, or a mix of hex digits and vendor names. This option is only effective for raw packet scans, such as SYN-scan or OS detection, and does not affect connection-oriented features such as version detection or the Nmap scripting engine. Even when MAC address spoofing isn't necessary for network access, it can be used for deception. A third method is source routing. It's an old but still effective technique in some cases. If a router on the path is causing trouble, try to find the route around it. However, its effectiveness is limited as packet filtering issues often occur on or near the target network. Nmap supports a loose and strict source routing via the -IP-options option. For example, use -IP-options L for loose, and then the IP, such as 192.168.1.7 space 192.168.1.9 for loose source routing, or S for strict source routing. If using strict source routing, you need to specify every hop along the path. IP4 source routing is typically blocked, but IP6 source routing is more pervasive. Now that we covered firewall evasion methods, let's talk about IDS evasion. Nmap IDS evasion methods basically comes down to scan speed reduction techniques. Avoiding IDS alerts when conducting port scans requires patience since port scan detection is usually threshold-based. IDS systems monitor the number of probes sent within a specific time frame, preventing false positives from innocent users and conserving system resources. You can avoid detection by keeping scan rates below the threshold. Nmap provides various canned timing modes like -T0 for paranoid to -T5 for insane that can be used to mitigate the risk of detection. The paranoid option sends 1 probe at a time, waiting 5 minutes between them, while the insane option waits only 5 milliseconds. Instead of using canned timing modes, you can customize timing variables precisely by using various options like max parallelism --max parallelism. This option sets the maximum number of probes that can be sent at any given time during a scan. This option can be useful for evading firewall and IDS detection, as it allows the scan to appear less suspicious by limiting the number of probes sent simultaneously. By reducing the number of simultaneous probes, the scan appears less like an automated attack and more like legitimate traffic. min RTT timeout --min -RTT timeout is used to set the minimum round trip time that Nmap should expect when scanning a target. This option can be helpful in evading firewall and IDS detection because some devices may trigger alerts based on the number of packets received in a certain time period or on RTT values that are outside of the expected range. By setting the minimum RTT value, Nmap can delay its scan if it encounters a slow or unresponsive target, which can help avoid triggering these types of detection. Scan delay --scan -delay. This option allows the user to add a delay between packets sent during a scan. This can be useful for evading time-based firewall and IDS triggers that may be in place. By adding a delay, Nmap can avoid sending packets too quickly and triggering alarms on the network. It's beneficial for stabilizing a network and avoiding time-based firewall and IDS triggers. Fragmentation. This option tells Nmap to fragment the packets. IP fragments can be problematic for IDS as they have to guess how the remote system will interpret the packet, which can differ depending on the platform. Fragment assembly can be resource intensive as well, thus some IDS still do not support fragmentation well. To overcome this, specify the -f option to use tiny IP fragments, 8 data bytes or fewer, when performing a port scan. Decoys -D is used to add decoys to the scan. The argument for this option is comma-separated list of target hosts. To indicate the true source host in the scan order, use the string M_E. If not specified, the true source host will be placed randomly in the list. To avoid detection by common port scan detectors, include M_E in the 6th position or later. Scanlog-D, a popular port scan detector, only logs the first 5 scan sources to prevent its logs from being flooded with decoys. Spoofing -S allows users to spoof a port scan from a single source IP, which can be a more subtle approach compared to using a large group of decoys. However, this method has limitations because no useful Nmap results will be available since the target will respond to the spoofed IP, which Nmap will not see. Additionally, IDS alerts will be triggered but will be blamed on the spoofed source for the scan. To use the -S option, simply follow it with the desired source IP address. You may also need to specify the proper interface name using the -e option. This technique can be used to force blue team to chase down false flags, casting doubt on the accuracy of the IDS, and even for denial of service attacks. In the final topic of this video, I will discuss Nmap's output options. Security tools can have disorganized and cluttered output, making it difficult for users to identify important information from the noise. The output contains irrelevant debugging information, and results may be poorly organized and documented, which can lead to confusion and frustration. Nmap provides at least 5 ways to view your scan results, including interactive mode. Nmap doesn't have a specific command line option and sends output to the standard output stream by default, which is usually the monitor. This mode is designed for human users who read the results directly and displays a table of noteworthy ports. ScriptKitty output -O_S is a format used by Nmap to create output that is formatted to look like it was generated by what nmap.org calls a scriptkitty or inexperienced hacker. The output is designed to be somewhat cryptic and misleading, with exaggerated hacker language and fake error messages to make it seem like a real attack is occurring. Greppable output -O_G is a simple format that can be easily processed using Unix tools such as grep, awk, cut, and diff. Each host is listed on one line with fields separated by tab, slash, and comma characters. While useful for quick analysis, XML format is recommended for more complex tasks as it provides more information and is more stable. XML output -O_X is a format that is easily parsed by software and is preferred when an application ingests Nmap data. It is a stable format and free XML parsers are available for all major computer languages. Normal output -O_N is similar to interactive output but is intended for analysis after the scan is complete. It is written to a file specified by the user and does not include unnecessary messages such as completion time estimates and open port alerts. The output also includes Nmap command line used in execution time and date on the first line. Thank you for watching the Nmap Scan All the Things Episode 5 video on the Cyber Overwatch channel. If you find this content informative and you are interested in cybersecurity, please like and subscribe to the Cyber Overwatch channel. In this video, I covered firewall and IDS evasion and Nmap output options. With this series, I provided a comprehensive overview of Nmap and its capabilities. I believe I was able to shed some light on how powerful and versatile this tool can be when used appropriately. But as I've said, I've just touched the surface of what Nmap can do. In my final video of this series, I will perform a demo of the various aspects of Nmap that was covered in this series. To gain further knowledge of Nmap, I recommend reading the documentation provided by nmap.org and practicing on a test network. The information discussed in this video is gathered from my experience and research. Use this information I've provided in a way that can best assist you. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a question in the comments, or you can send me a message from the cybersec.com website listed in the description. Until next time, keep learning. The only way to improve is to keep learning. Pragmatic One, signing off.